Welcome to erpbugs. So as we discussed in our last session, this session is all about how to implement or how to upload the chart of account structure using the rapid implementation. So what is the difference between the rapid implementation and the standard implementation or manual implementation? Rapid implementation is a feature or a facility given by Oracle to load all the information related to the chart of account, ledger, legal entity, business unit by putting in a macro enabled Excel file provided by Oracle. So there are certain limitations. So using this methodology of implementation, one can do the implementation quickly, but there are some limitations to it. You will not be able to change certain business objects like the ledger name or the calendar. There are all those definitions. It has some restrictions because it creates a lot of linking within the application, because it creates a lot of balance cubes, a lot of connections with each other. So there are some limitations. So if there is a requirement to have different ledger name, different chart of account structure name, different business unit associations, multiple business unit association, then one should go for individual configuration of those business objects, like configuring the chart of account structure, associating the value set, defining the segments, assigning the values. So we will see once after we complete the rapid implementation, we will see how those activities can be performed manually and individually. So when the individual configuration is done or standard configuration is done, all this activity of connecting with each other, connecting the segment structure to the chart of account structure, then chart of account structure with ledger with the legal entity, balancing segment values, and then legal entities with the business unit. All these activities to be done manually. So we will see the difference between the implementation through rapid implementation process as well as the standard implementation process. So during this session, we will look at how to download the rapid implementation template, which is basically provided by Oracle. And you should have certain, prerequisites to download the file. Then we will see how to prepare that rapid implementation file. There are certain prerequisites. Then we will validate those templates, then generate a CSV file. So whatever we do in that template, Excel template, we will generate some couple of CSV files where the information that we have provided in the template will be available in a structured way or the way Oracle is expecting. Then we'll load the chart of account and verify all those setups in the application. So the first thing, what is how to download the rapid implementation template. So as I mentioned, prerequisites, one should have the implementation user role, which is nothing but access to the application setup manager, ASM. The system requirement, what system requirement we have, the latest version of Excel. Then all the information we should have handy. When I say handy, we should have the discussion with the business about what should be the chart of account structure, how many segments they want to have, what are the organization structure, how many child organization, what are the business units they want to have, what are the legal entities they want to have. Everything we should have handy. And financial structure related information, like what should be the calendar, how many periods should be there, because Oracle allows more than 360 periods can be defined in a year. One day can be one period. And how many adjustment period, what is the adjustment period, we will discuss when we look at the calendar after uploading the calendar. we'll see what is the requirement of having an adjustment period. Then the next will navigate. Okay, let's navigate to the application and see how to download the file, rapid implementation file. I am in the home screen of Fusion Financials or Fusion application. So as an implementation user, I have to go to my work area through setup and maintenance. This is nothing but functional setup manager work area. So I am here. Now this particular chart of account structure and all loading through rapid implementation is not part of any offerings or work area or functional area. So Oracle provides a very nice feature of searching those tasks either through the functional area. By selecting the functional area you can get the task, or if you do not remember exactly the which functional area we have that task, there is a functionality called global search. So if you click on this button, it will open up this window, open up this page. So this particular search icon or search option is nothing but global search. This is local search, this is global search. Local search will do the search in the functional area itself or all the functional area itself. Global search will do the search for those tasks that are not listed in this functional area. So let me change this to Fusion Financials offering. Then let me go to the global search. In the global search, click on this. Then find out what task is associated with the file. So the name is define common financials financial define common financial configuration for rapid implementation. There are 15 tasks associated with this rapid implementation. So let's click on this hyperlink. It will open up all the tasks, 15 tasks that are associated with this define common financial configuration. Under this, the first one that we have to download or create chart of account, ledger, legal entity and business unit in spreadsheet. Now the moment you click on this, it will download a file which is macro enabled. So open that particular location where it is downloaded, then copy that file. It is there in my download. So I'm just copying this file. It's there in my download. So cut I'll just cut this file and save it in a different location. Why we have to save that in a different location? Because the desktop is associated with the cloud. If you save the file in the cloud, there are certain challenges that you will face. So I am creating a folder somewhere. Let me create a folder and let me create a folder in E. Let me paste it. Now what are the other activities that I have to do after I download the file? I have created a folder, separate folder, and kept the file in the folder. Now in this file we have to, because this is a macro enabled file. If you look at this file, this is a macro enabled file. What I have to do, I have to enable the security for this particular file. Right click on this file and then go to properties, So under properties, you have to unlock this file and apply. Click on OK. Now open this file. Now this file is a predefined file. The first step provides you all the instructions that are required, and the instructions to complete this file, to upload the information that you capture in this template. So the first sheet is talking about the chart of account, calendar and ledger name and all. Then the second one is talking about the business unit. The third one is the company and the legal entity. Then the natural accounts, because natural accounts are required to do record any transaction. So in chart of account, there are minimum number of segments that you should have for the business is 2 and maximum is 20. Now those two are basically the mandatory is the balancing segment and the natural account segment. That is the reason if you look at the Excel, it is having only one, that is for balancing segment, and the two natural account segment. Let us see what are the segments that we want to have. Suppose I want to name this ledger as PNC US, and my currency should be United States dollar, USD. It's on the top. Okay. Then period frequency. Period frequency is nothing but how many, what are the month pattern that I want to have. So I want to have monthly. One period is 1 month. Then adjustment period is nothing but if there is any transactions that are missed out during that period. Suppose say you are in the period of January and you forgot to do that transaction, but you close the period. What is opening the period and closing the period, we will discuss once we start doing the transaction. So you should have every period should get closed to get the reports generated from the fusion system. So that is the reason you need to close the period once the financial activities or all other activities are performed for that month, and then open the next period, so that it's a restriction that somebody cannot do an accounting or create a transaction sitting in the month of January. Somebody cannot do the transaction in the month of December, or next year for February or January. So that is the reason you should not open all the periods. You should open only one period, which is the current period or required to do transaction. So in such cases, during the month end or the year end, people will, the employees will come up with certain backdated transaction to accommodate all those backdated transactions and finalize the report for the year end close. We should have adjustment period. We have seen in many organizations they have adjustment period quarterly once even. So they do complete all their adjustment entries or adjustment financial transactions during that adjustment period lying in the end of the quarter. So we will have one. So we can define where we want to have the adjustment period. So we will have once at the year end. Now when we are starting the business, now this is dependent, because beyond this the transaction will not be allowed. And when you are using this template, ensure that you look at the instructions that are provided in the comment, so that when you validate you do not get any error. So here It is asking when you have started the business. Suppose somebody have started business in 1980. Now they want to bring all the transaction to fusion, or they want to do the transaction. That is not allowed. But when there is a migration from a different ERP system, they may need all those old dated transaction to be available in the fusion application. So for that purpose we have to define, and there are multiple other requirement as well. We will discuss them as and when the situation or the requirement comes. So here it is MMDDYY. Let me put 01 01 2022 01 2022. So this is MMDDYY. January 1st, 2022. I want to start my business. Now the segments. What is the segment? So during our discussion related to structures, we have discussed what are the different elements that are required for a business to record the transaction. We took that example of a school, or the country level. We want to have a report. So the country is the highest level, and the lowest level is the student roll number. Similarly, we can identify all those elements through which we want to generate a report, or through which we want to capture the information related to the business, and we will define them as a segment. Those elements are nothing but segment in Fusion. Now the first segment is, say, company. My company. What is the company? The top level, where all the transaction will get balanced. Then I'll have, say, 2 display width. Okay, let me prompt as, so let me define this as PNC company. Then P, some short name. Then width is 2. We'll discuss what is the width. Then I'll define PNC underscore department. P underscore D. I'll have 3 digits. Let me pick up something which is already there for interest of time. A predefined template I will open. Okay, so this is a predefined template. So where I have the company, there are 5 segments we have, and we have company, location, department, accounts. Then we have the intercompany segment, and then future. Future is nothing but, if at all we have some requirement in the future, we will use this segment to capture the data. Okay, what is this length? Length is nothing but the length in the value 1 2 3 4. So this is nothing but my value set for location. So what I will do, I will just copy this information to the new file and show you how we can generate. So let me copy this. Okay, so now I have 1 2 3 4, 5, 6 segments. So all my transactions will record these segment values when I do the transaction in different modules. Now there is a segment level. As we discussed, there are two segment level mandatory to have, but you can have maximum 20. So depending on the management decision that where they want to define or get the reports generated and how they want the reports to be generated, all this information, the levels will be selected. So my balancing segment will be top level, that is my primary balancing segment, the company. Then I will have my location. I can select my local use, or I can select the secondary balancing segment. What is that? We will discuss at the time of doing the transaction. So let me select this as my secondary balancing segment. The third balancing segment, or I can select or not. That's it. No choice. I will make it as my cost center segment department. Then it is mandatory that you should assign the natural account segment to your account segment, because that will bring some value addition to the values we define under this segment. We will see that after this is loaded into the application. Now here this one will select as my intercompany. What is intercompany? We'll see while doing transaction for intercompany. Now I have selected, I have four segments, sorry, six segments, but only two places where I can define the values for this segment. How do I generate this? If you look at the last one is financial sequencing. The moment I click on this add segment sheet, it will automatically add segment sheets for the additional, apart from the balancing and natural account segment, it will add a sheet for each of the rest of the segments. Now click on this. See, it has generated all the sheet with where you can put the values. Now what values we are going to put over here? So let us go to the pre-filled sheet. What we have put over there, the first thing that we need to understand, what is my company structure? Now how do I structurize my organization? So the top is the group. Then I have the legal entity. Under that legal entity I have different business units. Okay, so this is the parent, grandparent, this is the parent, and this is the child where we will do the transaction. So that what will happen, because this is defined as a legal entity. Okay, this is defined as a legal entity. So what will happen, the balances of all these three segments will be consolidated into power technology. Okay, now this will be submitted to the tax authority. Like yesterday we discussed, or the last session we have discussed, what is the requirement of having a legal entity. Okay, so the number of business, so whatever line of business you have, you can define them as a legal entity based on the requirement of the country where you are doing the business. Okay, so what we can do, we can copy this. When you do the practice, you can define them manually. What I will do, so these are the business and these are the legal entities I have for this PNC group. Okay, let me copy this information and put it in my new sheet. So it validates all the information whether they are appropriate or not. Okay, now my company or the first balancing segment is defined. What is next? The next I have to define my natural accounts. What are the accounts that we have to load? Now there is something I wanted to discuss, how we decide the accounts. Okay, So we discussed about the ledger, currency, calendar, parent-child relationship, legal information. Legal information we have put, okay, what is the legal address? We have provided all the details. Then business unit we have not done. I have started. What is LRO? LRO is nothing but how do you arrange the account codes? So in standard, as per the standard, we have five type of account. So one is asset, two is liability, three is expense, four is revenue, five is ownership. So in this pattern, you have to arrange all the accounts that the business is going to use for recording their transactions in under natural account segment as a value. So segment is natural account. The value will be all the accounts that will be used for accounting the transactions during the day-to-day activities. So when you do some payable invoice, which account will come? When the payable invoice against the payable invoice, the payment is done, which account should nullify that? So all those information need to be collected from the client, finance office or CFO, gather all those information and then put them in the rapid implementation. If you are doing the rapid implementation, then put it over here, or you have to define them manually or upload them manually into the segment values. We will see that as well. So let me, for sake of time, let me copy those information from the existing sheet. So let me go to the natural account. If you see here, all the accounts, these are all the asset accounts. Then if you see after 2, from 2, these are all liability accounts. Then 3 will have all expense accounts, all 3 expense accounts. Then we have 4 revenue accounts. Then finally we have the ownership account. So it depends. I mean 5 and 6, between 5 and 6 you can define all the ownership as well as expense and all those system account, or we'll see during the transaction. We'll see what is system account. Okay, now let me copy this information and put it in the new sheet. Why I am copying this limited information, I will show you. This template will take care of some other activities. So let me copy all the 659 values, go to my new sheet or new template and put it over here, paste it, install. It does some validation. Okay, now how much I have copied after this, but these information are populated automatically. How? This is the use of the predefined template, where it identifies what account category it is, what financial category it falls, and we will see what is the use of this financial category. If you are using the rapid implementation, this is a benefit. Though there are a lot of demerits, but there are certain benefits also. And how we will use this information, we will see that. Now let me go to the next segment, that is my location segment, and copy this information from the predefined template and put it. Location is nothing but where we have all the business or where we have all the customers. So all the details are can be captured through this. So let me put it as location. Okay, then what is there next? I have my department. So these are the departments we will have under this business. So whatever, I mean, if you want, you can add also later point in time. Let me go to department and put it over here. So this information in a real-time scenario, these information are basically captured by discussing with the client HRMS team, operations team. So they provide, okay, what is the current existing structure and what they plan in the future. Based on that, you have to take a call or define all the information, gather all the information and put it in the system. Now future, I do not know what I'm going to do, but I'm just defining that I will use it in future. So let me put this information here. Then finally, now all my segments are ready with the values. Now I will see what is the financial sequence. So I want to have the financial sequence for payable invoice annually or monthly, whatever. I can put a number, from there it will start. Then payment annually or monthly, annually. So these numbers will be generated when we do the transactions. We can override that later point in time. Okay, now my sequencing is done. This is a mandatory value, so we have to set it up. Now natural account is ready. Now company is ready. Now what are the business unit that I will have? So this is the business unit structure that we were going to use. Let me show the business unit. So you can decide. I will have software unit. I have the legal entity as PowerTech. So under PowerTech, I will have software, and if I want to have one more business like hardware or something or the other, I can define them in this place. So let me copy this, paste over here. Now all the sheets are ready. So I will have to validate whether I have put all the information in a proper way or not. So validate it. So the validation process completed with no error found. Do you want to see the sample report? Means if you do this configuration, how your reports will look like. So why this is required? Because if you want to alter something, if you want to change the structure, then before loading itself, you should do the changes and confirm with your business that okay, this is how the report is going to look like. So you have to confirm that. Now say yes. When you say yes, it will show you the report. So what you can do, if there is an error, just save it. Okay, so the report is not generated because some of the other issues. Just save it, close it, and then reopen that file. Reopen that file. What is that file? Okay, so reopen that file. then go to the same place and validate again. See, so this is how, these are all some sample reports. So this is how the reports for your organization will look like. Okay, so it has taken all the account, it has taken how it will be totaling, what formulas it will be calculating. Now if you are okay, if your business is okay with this, then you can go ahead and generate the file, or if they don't want, then you can go ahead and change the details. Now what is generating the file? So whatever information that we have put over here need to be in a CSV, required designated or required file format of Oracle. So the first thing that we'll have to do is generate the chart of account file. So the steps are well defined, so you don't have to worry about how to do this. So generate chart of account file, it will generate a CSV file, and it will ask you where do you want to save it. So we will save it in the same location where we have the rapid implementation template. Save it, then generate the second file as well. So it will create financial common entities. Save it. So now our files are ready. So as per the format required by Oracle, we have created our files. So let us see what is the next step. So we have both the files ready. In the next step, we have to add that file and process it in our application. Let me go back to my application. So here we have downloaded the file and did the changes or modification in this file. Now the first activity that we have to do is upload the chart of account file. Just click on this. Now select this file. Where is the file? Yes, in the new folder I have the chart of account file. Let me select this file and submit it. So this is the number. What is this number? This basically, when you submit the file, internally Fusion runs a process to put that information in different tables or different places where it should go. Like we have the value set, we have the values, we have the chart of account, we have the structure, we have the instance. So everything is defined in different places. So what Oracle is going to do with this scheduled process is nothing but it processes the information that we have provided through our zip file. It will put those information in the right place, and then once completed it will notify us also if we select that. If you look at the back, in the back of this message, there is notify. If you select this, it will notify you as well, and it will be available in the notifications. So let me click on OK. Now how do I monitor this? This is the place where all the scheduled processes that are submitted either by the user or by the system will be listed for reviewing the status. Now how do I navigate, because this is where I have submitted. It is showing me this sequentially what are the topic, what are the processes being submitted. So this is the process we submit. This is the number that we have got when we submitted it. You just need to refresh it. So unless until this completes, now this is running, means it is inserting those records that we have defined through our template. It is inserting in different places. So it will take 4 to 5 minutes to complete. So just keep on refreshing. The other way around, how do you navigate or how do you come to this place from the home page? So this is the reason we have tools and scheduled processes. So after if you want to see what is the status of the scheduled process that you have submitted for some of the other definitions, so you have to come to tools and scheduled process. This was nothing but your submit single request in EBS. In those who are coming with an experience in e-business suite of Oracle, this is the replacement of SRS, concurrent request. It was called concurrent request in e-business suite. So click on this. So the same thing will be available here. Just keep on refreshing it. So this process will take some 5 to 6 minutes. Once this process is completed, you can see what all the child requests that are submitted by the system. So we submitted this one. I mean, when we clicked on upload, it submitted the maintained value sets, then the chart of account hierarchies, then completed the process. So once the status is showing completed, that means our file loaded. Now we have loaded only the first file. Now with this first file, what are the information that will get inserted into our application is these are the information: the chart of account value set, the chart of account structure, the chart of account structure instance. Okay, so these are the the information that will get loaded to the application. Let us verify whether this information that we have defined in the Excel template are now inside the application or not. So how do we navigate that? We'll go back to our application, Fusion application, go to functional setup manager and be in the offering for financial and go to financial reporting center, reporting structure. Then this is where our structure is defined. Now click on this chart of account structure. So search it. Now this is the flex field, key flex field. That this is the only key flex field available in general ledger. What is key flex field and what is descriptive key flex field, we will discuss. Key flex field is nothing but the mandatory information that are required to run an application or to run the features, functions on application. DFF is nothing but the additional information. So accounting is the core information that are required for financial. So it is part of the structure, is part of your key flex field structure. Okay, now see this chart of account structure is deployed. Now if there is any change that you do in your structure, it has to be deployed. Why it has to be deployed? Because the information that you have changed will get synchronized with the information in the other places that are linking with the different structures. Okay, so let us search our manage structure. To find out our structure, let us say PNC. This is what we have named. Yes, so the last one is ours. Let us open this. Now see, the company department that we have entered or that we have entered in our Excel sheet is available here. Okay, you can modify the information based on your requirement. So what information that you can verify? Let us select one. See what is there in this segment. This is my company segment and this is tagged with a label called balancing. That means I will balance every transaction through my company segment value set, and the legal entity that is associated with this will get the output of a report. So I had multiple business unit, and every business unit have a balancing segment like 1, 2, 3, 4 we have seen, and the balancing will happen on this one. So 7 close. Now go to each and every segment and see what is there. This is second balancing segment. 7 close. One demerit of Fusion rapid implementation is that there are limited number of levels available in the rapid implementation. But if you do that manually, you will be able to select directly. Even if it is done, through the rapid implementation, you can add multiple, but the balancing segment and the account, the natural account segment cannot be multiple. You should have only one segment associated with level called balancing and one segment with level called natural account segment, because you cannot conflict. Okay, 7 close, go to the account, check that this is natural account segment. You can assign other segment labels, but this segment label cannot be assigned to other segments. 7 close, then go to the future, see what is there. Nothing is there because it was not available. If you remember, I didn't assign any level to the future segment, so now I am assigning it. Save it, save. 7 close. Now 7 close. Now the moment you 7 close, the tick button that was there will change to deployment status. What does that mean? We need to, because we have deployed, we have changed something and it has to be deployed. Now before we deploy this, let us see what are the value set that we have inserted, whether they are created or not. So if you go to this, you click on this and search for your value set code. We have given PNC, enter that. So if you click on this and go to manage values and click on search, you will find all the values that we have entered are available. And because this is a natural account, it has allow budgeting, allow posting. We will come to know, we will get to know, once we are into this topic, we will discuss what is this allow budgeting, allow posting, what is summary. Summary is nothing but the parent. Allow posting means you can do transaction and post it to the ledger. Allow budgeting means you can create the budget. Okay, third party account and all those things we will discuss with the business requirement. Okay, 7 close. So you can verify, you can add new values, modify, all those things you can do. But at the same time, after doing all the changes, you have to deploy the structure so that the information that you have updated gets synchronized with all other definitions. So click on done. Sorry, you have to deploy the structure, search it. Now this is only, this key flex field captures all the structures. So any changes inside this, any chart of account getting any change need to be deployed for everything. Okay, now click on the deploy flex field. It will run 36 processes to synchronize the information that you have changed, because it will impact on 36 places. Okay, so it will submit the process behind the screen. All the 36 are related to the scheduled process that we saw at the time of completion of loading. So it takes 4 to 5 minutes to complete this process, and once this process get completed, during this process it will try to run all 36 different synchronization processes. So once deployment is done, click on OK and see the deployment status is again checked. With this, we are done with the uploading process of chart of account. Let us see what else we have for this session. Yeah. So in the next session, we will discuss about how do we implement, or how do you upload. Okay, that's a wrong statement. So in the next session, we will see how we upload the ledger, legal entity, and the business unit, and then link up this information, the chart of account information, with the business unit, ledger, and legal entity. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, you can reach us at the email address. And if you need the information about the templates, the files, the values, you can write us on this email. Thank you very much.